Today we're in a very special car, a very British car. This car only weighs 3,000 pounds, which is about 1,400 kilos, which is really light. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Horsepower Cartel. Today we're in a very special car, a very British car with a Japanese heart, believe it or not, in India. It's actually two of these in the country, a very rare car. We are in the Lotus Evora 400.
Baby girl love my bop and I'm like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my.
Anyways, I want to start off the bat by saying Evora actually you know what Evora means?
No clue.
So Lotus's definition for Evora is evolution, vogue, and aura.
Oh,
These three words put together is Evora. How old do you think Lotus is as a company?
it's quite old.
Yeah, it's been around since 1948. Now check this out, Ruel. Lotus is one of those companies that spend a lot of money on research and development, on just racing. They're a race-inspired brand, you know. They only focus on building track cars and making cars super light and super agile for the track and for the street. Yeah, so they actually end up borrowing a lot of things from different cars, because when you spend a lot of money on research and development on performance and handling, you don't really, especially a company like Lotus is not that big, where it has the backing of the finance to, do R&D for, like for example, your infotainment system. Look at this; it's got an Alpine deck from factory. Now, this is not something we have installed. This actually came from factory, from Lotus. Alpine CD player too. It's weird seeing a CD player these days. I don't even know when was the last time I saw a CD player, besides my M3, obviously. But like in a newer car, this is a 2018, believe it or not. Like I said, the AC vents, the infotainment system, the window switches, the turn signals, they're all borrowed from different cars, including the engine. It's borrowed from, do you know which car, Roel?
No clue.
Believe it or not, it's borrowed from a Toyota Camry. A 3.5 V6, which puts out 300 horsepower from factory. And I guess, I don't know if you've heard of the brand called Edelbrock. They make a lot of muscle car parts. So it's got a supercharger from Edelbrock. It's got iBox springs and Bilstein shocks. Anyways, Evora 400, so it's making about 400 horsepower, 302 foot-pounds of torque. Lotus nailed it on the head with this car because it's got 50-50 weight distribution, which is really hard to achieve in a lot of cars. So that's why it's really well balanced. This car only weighs 3,000 pounds, which is about 1,400 kilos, which is really light. The reason why it's so lightweight is because it's got this bonded extruded aluminum chassis, which means basically there's no welds on the chassis. So that means there's no extra weight for reinforcement and making the chassis more rigid, or basically it has no welds. Okay, it's just one piece, I guess, and that keeps the weight down because obviously, like I said, there's no welds on it. It got double wishbone suspension in the front and the rear, and this car's riding on 19s in the front and 20s in the back. So it's got that little, it's definitely, this car's made for the track. Now, one thing about this car, Rule, I must tell you, I've driven a lot of cars, 911s, Lambos, Ferraris. I really like this car because it feels like I'm sitting in the seat, and it feels like the car was built around me. Doesn't it feel like that? It's the first time sitting in a Lotus, right?
Yeah, first time.
How does it feel?
Pretty compact, I'd say.
Pretty compact. It actually, it's as much as the 300ZX. Wouldn't you think? Probably a little smaller than the 300ZX.
Yeah.
But the driving position is so good. Like, even though it has small windows and stuff, it's really visible. Obviously, the back window is not visible, but I can see that beautiful supercharger back there, which, we're going to play some sounds for you guys later in a bit. Here we are in the Lotus Evora 400. Beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, everything's hand-stitched. The dashboard, really high premium quality. It being a British car, you know how they do it. Everything's in-house. Steering wheel's really nice and girthy and really nice to hold. Got nice paddle shifters. Now this is a 6-speed gearbox. You might think it's a flappy paddle slush gearbox, but it actually shifts pretty quick and has some good sounds when you shift. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the features in here. As you can see, it's got some heated seats for both sides, the passenger and the driver. Let's go ahead and turn that exhaust off so we're not making too much noise while I'm recording. So yeah, it's got 2 modes. It's got normal mode, it's got sport, and then race, which you have to press and hold for 2 seconds, and it goes into race mode. The exhaust gets activated and the traction goes off as well. Yeah, that's race mode for you. Sound system, you got your Alpine. This is from OEM, from Lotus. This is not like it's aftermarket or something. Lotus actually gives this to you. That's the thing about Lotus. Like I mentioned, they take parts from different aftermarket companies. Like I said, the V6 is from the Camry, tuned by Yamaha. The supercharger from Edelbrock. Infotainment systems from Alpine, as you can see. I guess it's the latest Alpine you can get in this generation. It has your navigation and everything. It says where I don't know if the navigation works here in India, but it is here if you need it, I guess. But it does have Apple CarPlay. I'm pretty sure, it being a newer Alpine, hopefully it does. But when you're driving this, you're not worried about all this stuff. Your basic controls here for your transmission. There's no gear lever or anything, neither anything on the steering wheel. But you got your park, drive, neutral, and reverse. Here are your AC controls. Real easy, simple, easy to use. AC vents, real basic. It's hand built in England by Carl Knights. Did you look at that? And the seats are by Recaro. So a lot of parts are from aftermarket companies, as you can see. It's cold start right now, so that's why you got the little blue cold water symbol or something to let you know the car's still cold. So don't do anything crazy. So here's the ignition. You actually put the key in, turn, and then hit the engine start button. Keep in mind, this car's done only 977 kilometers. So yeah, this is brand new, and this is for sale. And look at the build quality from this, man. Really, honestly, for the price, I would definitely choose this over a 911, because I feel like the car is built around it. It's like your car wears you. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the car is, it's like I was sitting here and someone built the car around me. It's like I'm wearing the car. Like it's just so nice. It has back seats, which are basically probably just for storage. I don't think anyone could sit in there unless you don't have legs. So if you don't have any legs, you can sit back there. And probably no arms either. But I don't see any adults sitting back there. It's good for some small luggages, I guess. But back to talking about how this feels like you're wearing the car. I mean, driving this car is literally like, the only other car I felt like close to this was probably the Mazda Miata, but this is obviously slightly bigger, way more powerful, and yeah, man, it's just so good. Seating position is so good because you're kind of high up, and I can see the road below. Now the thing with 911s and even Lamborghinis, you feel you're a little far away from the road. In a Lamborghini 911, you feel like you're sitting a little lower, and the arch is a little high on the 911s, so you feel a little intimidated driving them, taking turns into stuff. But this, you like fit right around. Like you could really like maneuver this really well. Yeah, man, I really like the way this car is built and how they thought of everything in this car. Alright, let's throw this baby in reverse. It's warmed up. It's got like a 2-megapixel reverse camera, but it's alright. It gets the job done. Just roll over there, chilling in the corner, trying to hide. Over here we got your, dashboard auto dimming. You can lower it and increase the brightness and lower it. And you got your headlights, turn it all the way on. Your rear fogs. You got your mirror controls as well. Thing to notice, a quirk about this car, it only has a single wiper. Super European. I know it's definitely a Euro thing with the single wiper. How cool is that? But now the ground clearance on this car is really nice. Real easy to drive. The shifts are actually really quick. I'm actually not even driving in sport mode. As I was telling you, look at the driving position. The seating position is so nice in this car. You just feel like you're looking straight down into the road rather than the road being so far away from you, So this is like a nice first-person point of view where I can show you guys. Definitely an amazing seating position. Definitely track-oriented. Great car, made for the street and the track. Let's go throttle. lights on it. I couldn't get on it really because of obviously it's wet and stuff, but it sounds so good. Of course, we got the camera car out there looking out for us, getting some shots. Like I said, this isn't a flappy, slush box. Let's hear the. It's just really quick for what it is. It sounds so good. Got a little pops too, but this car is bone stock, no tune, just a Toyota 3.5 engine, tuned by Yamaha, Edelbrock supercharger. So cool. I'm really surprised the way this shifts so quick, even though it's not a dual clutch. I think it's a 6-speed CF transmission, but it shifts so quick. So this car, like I said, 400 horsepower, 3.5 V6, supercharged from Edelbrock, tuned by Yamaha. I don't know if it's tuned by Yamaha, but I remember Lotus had the Elise, which had a 1.8 from the Celica and the Corolla, believe it or not. But that was tuned by Yamaha. Toyota does a lot of tuning from Yamaha, like the LFA, the ISF, the RCF. All these motors are tuned by Yamaha. I'm pretty sure this one is as well. So yeah, believe it or not. Guess what the 0 to 100 time is on this?
Like 4 seconds?
Yeah, you're actually right. It's actually 4.1 seconds, which is really quick, and that's because this car's super light, and it does have 400 horsepower in a 3,000 pound car. So, and guess what the top speed is on this car? It actually can hit about 300 kilometers per hour. 186 is the top speed, and which we won't get to see anytime soon in Mumbai at least, but I think you should be able to hit it in Mexico. But the Speedo says 330. I'm pretty sure this car is not doing 330, but it's there if you need it, if you could get some upgrades. Let's go for a little spin. Ruel, you haven't sat in this car yet, so I'm going to give you the little spin in this whip. Now, Ruel, how would you say how's the shifts in this car? It's pretty quick, right?
Yeah, seems quick.
It's actually not a DSG, believe it or not.
And yeah, that sounds so well.
Yeah, it's obviously the engine's in the back.
Yeah.
This is a mid-engine rear-wheel drive. Let's put the window down. Now that's stock exhaust. I don't know who the exhaust is made by. I guess it's by Lotus's race team. So
Sounds great.
it definitely sounds great. This car's so easy to drive. Like, it legit feels like I'm driving a go-kart with a roof on my head. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a car at all. The way the steering feedback is, it just feels so good. It feels like you're in a go-kart, doesn't it? This car definitely puts a smile on your face. Now guys, this car is for sale. You can DM me on carplug.in if you're interested. The asking price is 1.3. It's only done it's just below 1,000 kilometers. The car's practically brand new. Like I said, it's the only road legal Lotus 400 Evora 400 in India, get it, man. I mean, if you're looking to buy a 911 or any new car, I would suggest I would look into this. You know, send me a DM, fly down to Mumbai, take a look at it. It's such a good car, so easy to drive, and definitely an eye catcher. Everyone was just like, "What the hell is this thing?" It's just, honestly, if this was red, people would think it's a Ferrari. Some people already think it's a Ferrari. Like when I was filling up, when I was paying for the toll, the guy was like, "Bhai, ye Ferrari hai kya?" And I was like, "Yeah, totally." So yeah, I mean, people think it's a Ferrari. You know, you can get away with it. Put some badges on, paint it red. Very exotic and Italian looking. As you can see in the front, the bumpers have these big ducts for the brakes and aerodynamics, and got these daytime running lights, so you can look good in the rearview mirror of a 911. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, if I had to choose this or the 911, now, let me clear the air real quick. I'm talking about the 911 Carrera. I'm not talking about a turbo. Obviously, I'm not talking about a GT3 RS. I'm talking about a base model Carrera. Compared to this, I think this slightly has the edge over it. Now, I'm not talking about the 992 generation, because obviously those are way faster. But if you would compare this to, like, the 991.1 or even the 0.2, I think this has a slight edge over it. Like I said, the normal Carrera, not the turbo or the GT3 or any of the GT. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. This car is really easy to drive. Like I said, hit us up. Hit me up, carplug.in, or even DM us on Horsepower Cartel, or DM me on the best way to reach out to me is DM me on my personal profile, which I'm going to put down right now. So hit me up on that. And wow, a dog with 3 legs. God bless him, man.
Tripod.
That's messed up, bro. So messed up. I would name my dog Tripod, though.
No, it's a thing, like all dogs with 3 legs are called tripod.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, I'm serious.
So we're in the streets of Bandar now driving, and it's so easy to drive. It goes over the bumps. The suspension is really, really soft, believe it or not. I mean, when you put it in race or even sport mode, it kind of stiffens up, but I don't really noticed that much of a difference. But this car is so easy to drive. You can actually daily this thing. It's actually good on fuel economy too, because it being a Toyota Camry motor, supercharged, and such a light car. So that's another thing I gotta say. Parts for this is readily available. The 3.5 motor that Toyota has is used in a lot of other models as well. Lexus uses it as well. So believe it or not, the oil filter in this car is readily available in your local market. We did an oil change on this when we first got the car, and it's readily available. Like the oil filter is straight from the Camry, and believe it or not, it was only about 800 bucks, 800 rupees. Not that it matters. I mean, if you're paying so much money for this car, not that it matters, but it's cool, you know. Like, you get such a nice car, you get a lot of car for the money, and then you don't have to worry about maintenance either, because it's super, super reliable. I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's no service support for this car. You don't have to worry about anything, man. This thing's basically a Toyota with a Lotus body. It's super easy to use. Let me know what you guys thought about that vlog. We have a lot more coming up on Horsepower Cartel. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. If you already subscribed, make another profile and subscribe. Go ahead and hit us up. Support the channel by picking up some merch. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Like, subscribe, and share, like I said always. Take care. Let us know what car you want to see us review next. This is something out of the blue. Luckily, my best friend, he owns this car. Shout out to my boy Shab, who was nice enough to let us borrow it for this video. So I told him I'm going to help him sell it. And honestly, this car isn't sold yet. This car would have been sold a long time ago, but I don't think a lot of people have knowledge about this car. The exhaust note, the way it drives, no one knows about this car. So this car needed a video, it was much needed. And what did you think, Ruel, before you got in this car?
Yeah, the first time, something new, something different.
But weren't you surprised the way this car sounds?
Yeah, sounds special. Yeah.
It rides like
pretty comfortable.
More comfortable than my M3, I feel like. Yeah, man, this is so nice, and it's very exotic looking. So, if you're looking to get a 911 or some kind of, I don't know, Lambo or Ferrari, I would look into this, because it's got usable power. It's not like it's got so much power, it's usable power. So yeah, see you guys soon. Take care, and join the cartel.